All right, welcome back to the next training. Okay, today we're going to be talking fitness. We're going to go over the fitness side of things, on how you can train the best way possible after 40 so you can lose weight forever. Make sure you keep it off long term. Okay, how do we do that? We got to make it a lifestyle. So we got to find something that's realistic. I find oftentimes one of the hardest people, one of the reasons why so many ladies have a hard time, getting into a consistent routine with their fitness, besides everything else, when it comes to the fitness side of things, I find it's because a lot of time when you look at all these programs and all these people telling you what to do, oftentimes it's just like a bodybuilder, right? And bodybuilders or coaches, I mean, people like me, we can live in the gym. So we can be there 2 to 3 hours a day, all day, every single day. Okay. So for us, it's realistic to do something like that. But a lot of time when they're telling you to do, 30 minutes of cardio plus an hour of training, you got to do it almost every single day. And if you've never worked out a day in your life, or if you're not consistent with your workouts right now, or even if you are consistent, but you're only doing 3 times a week, I mean, they're asking for a lot. And it's hard to make that transition. And a lot of us, you might not have the time, whatever it may be. Okay. So I'm going to break down with you the 3x3 method so that way you can get better results faster. Okay. So first and foremost, 3x3 method. How does this work? Okay. So I create this method so that way you can get best results possible when it comes to your fit goals after 40 and the least amount of time possible as well. Hayden, how the heck is that done? Well, simple enough is in order to get progress, okay, in order to actually see progress when it comes to working out, you need to be stressing your muscles at least 3 times a week. 2 times you can get by full body to maintain your muscle mass, but 3 times a week you'll actually see results. Okay, now that means you're stressing your muscle groups, okay, 3 times a week. Perfect. All right, so you got to work out at least 3 times a week. Now, with those 3 workouts per week, though, we need to make sure they're effective. We need to make sure they're properly set up so you get the results you want. Okay, now how do you make it a quicker workout? By focusing on the right exercises that burn the most amount of calories and help stress your muscles as much as possible to get the best results possible in the minimal time spent. Okay, and I'm going to explain that here soon. So think of this for a second, ladies. If your goal is to lose body fat, right, and you want to shape up and get defined, all right, you might think that like, okay, Caden, I'm sick. Like I got 30 pounds to lose and I got these wings underneath my arms and I'm so uncomfortable and I hate it. And I want to be able to wear t-shirts and a tank top again, but I can't. If that's you, I get you. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you 100%. But think of this for a second, okay? You might think that like what you should do to get the results in your arms is to go to the gym, do triceps, like here, to do triceps, the pull downs and bicep curls and stuff like that, right? Like that's probably what you're thinking. Like, okay, well, I gotta get my arms more toned. I gotta get rid of this fat underneath. So I gotta go train my arms all the time, and I'll go train my arms 2, 3 times a week and get those done so I can build my toned arms, defined arms, right? No, we don't want to do that. Okay, here's the reason. Unless you have all the time in the world and you're going 4 or 5 times a week in the gym, totally makes sense to do that. But especially if you're just starting out and you only got 30 to 40 minutes a day, okay? This is just for ladies who got 30, 40 minutes to work out 3 times a week and you just want to get the results to lose fat and shape and tone up your body, get stronger. That's you. This is for you, okay? If you think about it, these isolated movements, okay, bicep curls, you're doing a bicep curl, it's an isolated movement. You're isolating one muscle group and you're focusing on this one little muscle group. Okay, you're working on this one little muscle group compared to everything else. So you're sitting there spending all this time and you're only focused on this one muscle group where everything else being neglected. All right. So if you just do isolated movements, you're gonna have to do this one, and we're gonna have to do tricep, we're gonna have to do laterals. Okay, so we're gonna do some lateral raises with the side delt. Oh, we gotta do the front delt, do front raises. Oh, we gotta do the back, we're gonna do reverse or flies that way. And you're doing all these different things to hit every little part. You're gonna be in there all day long working out. That's a bodybuilder. Okay, that's a bodybuilding style. You don't got that kind of time. Your kids are waiting for you at the pickup after school, or you got to go home for supper, wherever it may be. You don't have that time, right? So what you got to do here is you got to focus on the main muscle groups. Okay, so what this means is that the 3x3 method is you want to do full body workouts which means you're hitting every single muscle group, but you're doing it in a smart way. You're going to focus on the main muscles that you got going on. Okay, that means your chest, your back, and your legs, biggest muscles you got. Okay, chest area, back area, and also leg area. Okay, those are the three main pieces that you got to focus on. Okay, so basically how it works is those are three ones you want to focus on. Okay, when it comes to the actual exercises, you'll want to do compound lifts. Okay, what that means is that you're better off to do, let's say you're training legs, right? If you want to burn the most amount of calories to get the best results possible and build a nice booty, what you got to do is you don't want to sit there and do leg extensions. Let's say this is my leg and I'm extending it outwards. You don't want to do leg extensions the whole time. Yes, it's going to build your quads nicely, but it's not going to build your booty or your hamstrings either, or your calves, right? You're not burning as many calories either because you're just targeting one little muscle group. Again, you can add this in later, or if you work out more than 3 times a week, you can do it. I'm not saying don't do it, guys. I'm saying that this is not as effective if you're trying to get the 3x3 method down, okay? You're better off to hit that squat bar, hit the barbell dead or barbell squats, and then squat it out. It's going to build a beautiful booty. It's going to help shape your legs, your hammies. It's going to hit everything, and it's also going to help you burn more calories. Okay, because you're lifting more weight, you're using more muscles, so you're using more energy to do one exercise, the same amount of time spent, okay? But you're using more to get better results, and you can lift more weight so you can stress your muscles better, so you can get better results there, so you get stronger faster. The more muscle you have in your body, the better your metabolism is going to be. Studies show that if you do compound lifts and lift like this, your metabolism is going to be raised for the next 8 hours. Like you're going to be burning more fat, more calories for the next, I think it's like the next 8 hours. It's like the Holy Grail. All right. So this is why this stuff works so well. So put this all together. I'm teaching you. You better apply this. All right. You better apply this with your fit journey. So this is how it works. All right. So you want to focus on compound lifts and you want to do full body. So ladies, honestly, you probably want to start with your legs. So you go and with your legs, I would say per main muscle groups, you want to do at least 2 exercises per main muscle group. 3 if you can fit it in. I don't know if you'll have the time to. Okay. 2. Okay. So that means you're going to do barbell squats, we'll say, and then leg press. 2 huge lifts that allow you to lift the most amount of weight. After you're done legs, you move over to back. Let's say you do deadlifts. Deadlifts is more so like a leg exercise too, but we'll say you do deadlifts, okay? Because that'll work your back too. And you do deadlifts, and then next thing you know, you do barbell rows after. 2 compound lifts. You're getting the best bang for your buck because rows are not just working your back. It's going to be working your biceps. It's going to work your core. It's going to work maybe not really your legs as much, but it's going to work the core area as well, like your tree trunk, your back, all multiple muscle groups. All right. Super good. So after you're done back and you do 2 exercises there, then you move on to your chest area. And you go do, let's say, barbell bench press and then dumbbells or like dips, something like that. And then that way you hit all main groups. But here's the thing though, is that when you're doing compound lifts for your bench press, for example, right? Let's say you want those toned arms and you want that nice tricep, right? That toned, defined tricep. Well, think about this. If you're doing bench press or dumbbells, you're pressing outwards and you're working that muscle there too. So you're getting the benefit here because you're doing chest, but you're also going to be working your shoulders. You're also going to be working your triceps as well. And if you do it right, you can work your core too. I have a 6-pack. I don't even work my core out. And I'm 215 pounds. So it's like totally doable. Okay. Yes, for me personally, it was a lot of my genetics and stuff, but still, it's still totally doable. Okay. So that's kind of how the outline works there with the 3x3 method. That's how you get better results faster. And it's also super sustainable. All right. So that's how it works there. Of course, if you want to add in core, totally go for it. Like I like to just do a quick circuit. If I'm going to work at my core, I don't really do abs, but if I'm going to do quick circuit, 10 minutes or so. I usually do 3 exercises, 1 for my lower, 1 for my upper, and 1 for the middle/sides. Okay. So how that looks is you can do like mountain climbers, you can do flutter kicks, you can do ab crunches, and then you can do Russian twist. something like that. All right. Now, again, if you want to add more, if you have the time, totally do it. But if you can hit that, like just that 3x3 method, you'll crush it. Okay. And then you just do the same thing every single time, or you can do day 1 and 3 the same, and then day 2 is different to mix it up so it's enjoyable, whatever works for you. Okay. Styles of training after 40. So that's the 3x3 method. That's mine, Coach Hayward, me, Caden. That's my method there. Styles of training after 40. I find the best ones: HIIT, hypertrophy, Pilates, yoga. Okay. Yoga and Pilates, you're not really going to get too much, but it'll work to like your skeletal muscles. It's really good for your stress levels, things like that. I've heard really good things about it. I know a lot of people love it too. So that's good for that area. If you want to get more toned, defined, better energy, looks, stuff like that, HIIT and hypertrophy is where you're going to find it. Okay. HIIT workouts, high intensity interval training. I find they're awesome because like I don't personally ever do them. I'm not into them at all. So I find they're awesome for clients and ladies because it's quick, right? You burn a bunch of calories. It'll help with your stamina and your endurance, and it's quick workouts. Okay. Hypertrophy is really where you're going to be building the muscle, right? It's where you're building the strength. You're building more defined, strong, firm muscles. That's where I find you're mostly going to get the best results there. I personally love hypertrophy the most, especially as we age too, right? Like you got to consider that you want to be strong long term. You want to have strong grip strength. So that way, if you're going to fall down in the future, if you're in your 70s, 80s, you have that grip strength to grab onto something. That's a life-saving like muscle to have. So grip strength, hypertrophy is going to give that to you. Just having a strong foundation, a strong base, right? Avoid osteoporosis. Keep your bones strong as you grow. Super important. Hypertrophy is where it's at. What is hypertrophy? Same thing as strength training. Okay. It's just that's the term for it. Hypertrophy. It's where you're doing like the exercises, like I mentioned, bench press, squat, and stuff. You're doing, let's say, 3 sets and 10 reps per exercise. For you ladies after 40, I would say your rep range would be anywhere between 10 to 15 is like the sweet spot. Okay. So if you're doing like, if you're doing shoulders, do around 15 rep range. If you're doing chest area, back, legs, stuff like that, around 10, 12 rep range is perfect. And rest periods can be around, I would say around 1 minute to 2 minutes. Okay. Somewhere's around there. If you're doing 15 reps, maybe 45 seconds, but I would say take that extra time, rest for a minute, and then go at it. If you're doing 10 reps and you're really pushing, maybe rest up to 2 minutes. Just see how your body is. Don't rest too long though. All right. You don't want to ruin your focus. Let's see here. Total sets per workout. Studies show around 18 total sets is the best, but that's going to take a little while. So we just got to be time efficient. If you're going to do like, yeah, you just going to be careful there, but around 18 total sets per workout is, supposedly like around the best or the, most effective. You don't want to do too many. That's for sure. And for reps, your reps become ineffective. Like they won't benefit you if you're doing over like 60, I think, or some like crazy high number. So that's that there. Now, why is training so important? I don't think I need to explain this one to you ladies, but we all know why it's important, right? Mental health. I mean, literally there's new studies that show that it's more effective than like antidepressants. Like that's how good exercise is for your mental health. It's not a punishment. It is a blessing to be able to go into that gym and be able to work things out in your mind. You're stressed out. You want to build your body. Like it is an absolute blessing that we get to work out. Okay. That's the mindset we want to have. So it is good for your mindset, your mental health. It teaches us discipline. It teaches us delayed gratification. It teaches us many skills that are useful for life. It helps build us a strong base, a strong body, so that we're not going to get hurt and broken in the future. It helps us with longevity. Our looks, our shape of our body, it helps with our getting jobs at work, because unfortunately that's just the way the world is, right? And it's just naturally, like if you look at studies, it's true. So yeah, it's important for many reasons. It's important for so many reasons. All right. Hormones, everything. Okay. How to get results? Basically just stress that muscle. Okay. A muscle grows when it's stressed. Diamonds are created under pressure, ladies. All right. So what that means is like your muscle, you have little fibers, little muscle fibers. Okay. So you got this big one, you got these little microfibers. And what you want to do when you're training, all right, you want to stress these fibers. Okay. So if I'm doing a bicep curl and I'm like letting it out And then I'm pushing that bicep in and I'm just feeling that. And it's like stressing my muscle. And then on the way out, it's stressing. It's ripping. It's having little micro tears. All right. This is why when you first start working out, you might fluctuate in weight a little bit because your body's like retaining fluid to help fix and with your body and everything on recovery. But yeah, so you want little micro tears. And then what's going to happen? Eat properly. Okay. If you nourish yourself properly, when your body comes to heal, it's going to make those fibers more dense and stronger. If you're eating in a caloric surplus, so ladies, never worry about becoming this huge bodybuilder with huge muscles. All right. That's the last thing you ever have to worry about. Those bodybuilders and people with these huge muscles, they're eating tons of calories. They're eating tons of protein. They're training for years and years and years and years. And they're doing like long workouts, training multiple times per week. And it's also like, you know, very high testosterone levels. Like guys have way more testosterone than ladies. So ladies, you do not have to worry about that big bulky look when it comes to exercising. It's the last thing you got to worry about. All right. Especially if you're doing your food right, you're in a deficit, losing weight, you never have to worry about, you know, your muscles getting too big, nothing like that. That's not going to happen. Okay. But ultimately, fall in love with stress in the muscle. When you push yourself, your muscles will grow / get stronger, more dense, more firm, and get you one step closer to your goals. Okay. And then make sure you get proper protein intake, proper food, and then recovery as well. Okay. If we don't eat enough food, our muscle mass will slowly decline as well. So we got to make sure we're eating enough food too. But recovery is key as well. Okay. If you're specifically strength training, like power lifting, like 3 to 5 reps, which you don't want to do, unless that's your goal to become a power lifter. But if that's what you're doing, you can train almost every day because your ligaments or tendons, they heal quicker. I forget what it was, the function for strength. If you're training for like what most of you are training, like working your muscles and whatnot, it's best to give it like 48 hours, we'll say. Okay. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday is like a good schedule to have, all right, for your workouts, especially if you're doing full body. Okay. So give it a day in between to rest and recover. Lastly, best exercise to focus on, I already talked about this, is your compound lifts. So barbell bench press, barbell squat, barbell, standing shoulder press. Let me see, hip thrusts are good. Donkey kicks are really good for your butt, but that's not like a compound lift. Deadlifts are super good. Just be very careful with the form. Always protect the form first. Never ego lift. And yeah, little things like that. That's the training for today, ladies. All right. So that's training. So if you want to get fit, if you want to get strong, if you want to lose body fat as quick as possible, this is what you got to do. As you lose your weight, once you're more in the routine, if you want to add more days on, or once you lose this body fat and you want to build, you know, your booty up more, you want to work on different areas, that's when you can focus on more isolated movements and start switching things up. Okay. Last thing I'll leave you off with is when it comes to your workouts, you never want to change things up. You want to give it 3 to 4 months before you change your routine up so you can get the best bang for your buck when it comes to exercising and working out. Okay. Wow. We jam-packed that one. All right. So that's the training for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next training.